You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and a few different items here, but most notably, we're going to talk about the quarterback situation, the OC situation. TJ Watt won a third Defensive Player of the Year award. That's pretty damn impressive, I would think. He joined his brother, JJ. And, in fact, let me just look real fast. I wanted to see who all he joined. Aaron Donald, Ray Lewis, Reggie White, and Bruce Smith. So, some pretty unbelievable company that TJ Watt jumped into. And, in fact, I'm going to be honest. I said I think if TJ Watt plays in that Bills game, there's a chance that game might look a little different, all right? We know that defense is a pretty good defense. It's a pretty formidable defense, and there were times even going into the fourth quarter you thought, man, the Steelers might oddly get back in this game. The Bills just did not seem like they could pull away from them. So this brings us over to this. Now, we've talked a lot about Kenny Pickett and the fact that the Steelers don't know if they're bringing back Mason Rudolph. Mike Tomlin's already said that Kenny Pickett is QB1. And one of the what used to be one of the most respected voices in NFL media was Peter King, a guy that John Madden loved. I think he was the very first guy that John Madden ever invited aboard his bus, and this was like 35 years ago. Peter King, I believe, was covering the Giants back then, back in the day, the Parcells Giants. Anyway, there was a time when he was very respected. Now, he's kind of become like the rest of the media, so I certainly don't love everything Peter King's got to say. But he did hammer Mike Tomlin here about one thing that Tomlin absolutely cannot do, and I do see his point. All right? I do see what he's talking about. So let's get to this. This is Steelers Nation, and Peter King, who is usually on with Florio on PFT on Fridays, came out and said the following, quote, "You can't run it back with Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and a free agent from Chadron State." Peter King observed, "You can't do that. You've got to go out and get a quarterback who is going to give you a chance with a representative, fairly strong defense to come out in 2024 and compete at the highest level with the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns." And so, look, I think in a lot of ways you're right, Peter King, because, in that division, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, okay, I could stop there. Now, I don't know who the hell the Browns quarterback's going to be. I guess it's going to be a Deshaun Watson, but who knows there? I mean, we saw Joe Flacco. I still think they should re-sign Joe Flacco just in case Deshaun Watson crashes and burns, which I think he's going to. I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to. I've got the over-under on a half a season next year before that whole thing permanently implodes with the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson, and they're going to need a quarterback. Might as well be Joe Flacco. The point is, you got a good defense. Look, this Steelers team could be very good, and there's going to be free agents out there. Most notably, the one I think about the most is, why not drop Kirk Cousins on this team, or Baker Mayfield, either one. I mean, you got to feel like this Steelers team, especially with Kirk Cousins, this defense, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and some of those weapons, Jaylen Warren, Najee Harris, you got to feel like this team could compete definitely for the AFC North, but to make a deep playoff run. It feels like they're a veteran quarterback away, right? A good veteran quarterback away. I don't know how you can possibly try this with Kenny Pickett. If you want to try it with Mason Rudolph, fine. But, and I've kind of been sort of a proponent of that, of giving him a chance. But at the same time, I'm one of these people, I think you've almost seen enough out of Pickett. I think you're very close. The attitude issues, I'm not a fan of. So that brings us over to a position that they need to fill badly in Pittsburgh. And look, if the Steelers end up wanting Kliff Kingsbury, who I really like, they may end up getting in a bit of a bidding war situation because the Eagles interviewed Kingsbury yesterday. The Raiders have been in talks with Kingsbury. I did a video on that the other day. A lot of people are wanting Kingsbury because of how he works with quarterbacks. All right? And I think a lot of us would love to see him work with a quarterback not named Kyler Murray, frankly. All right? Because the fact is, Kyler Murray got hurt. Colt McCoy came in. And all of a sudden, Colt McCoy looked like a starting quarterback in the NFL under Kliff Kingsbury. And I was watching that, and I was thinking, would the Cardinals have made the playoffs if Kliff Kingsbury would have started Colt McCoy from the beginning of the season? Because it was clear Colt could run Kliff's offense better than Kyler Murray could, which is really strange when you consider the kind of offense that Kingsbury likes to run. So Peter King again, was on 93.7 The Fan. He come out and said the Steelers have possible interest in Kingsbury, and it may have to do with his experience working with Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. Kingsbury came to Arizona during their 4 seasons together. Murray earned 2 Pro Bowl nods. Okay, so, I mean, that tells you right there, you know, a lot of people came down on Kingsbury, but he got 2 Pro Bowl seasons out of Kyler Murray. He joined Cordell Stewart and Cam Newton as the only quarterbacks in the league to throw 20 touchdowns run for at least 10 more scores in the same season. Kingsbury's playing career actually included a year as Tom Brady's teammate in 2003. Kingsbury's got a Super Bowl ring, by the way, with one of those Patriots teams that won. Now, another name has come out, Zach Robinson, and a lot of people are looking at him too, including the Raiders. Albert Breer came out on Monday. The Steelers put in for the interview with Robinson, who is an assistant coach under Sean McVay, who has been the quarterback's coach and the pass game coordinator for the last 2 years for the NFC squad. And look, that Rams offense looked great this year. They gave the Lions all they could handle. I mean, the Lions almost did not make it past the Rams. The Rams got into the playoffs and felt really dangerous. Robinson previously interviewed with the Bears, has had interest from the Raiders and the Patriots, Albert Breer reported on Monday. So that's something to think about there. Before he was an NFL coach, he was an analyst for PFF, Pro Football Focus. And, of course, we use PFF a lot here on this channel. Robinson played college football at Oklahoma State. Now, as you can imagine, there is connective tissue between Zach Robinson and Mason Rudolph, right? Because of the Oklahoma State connection. And, in fact, I think they were actually roommates together. So, if they go Zach Robinson, that's a good sign for Mason Rudolph, I think. All right? There's going to be a rapport there. Robinson's a quarterback's coach. And it's so weird because I see these guys like Zach Robinson and Mason Rudolph. I can remember watching both these cats play college football at Oklahoma State. I mean, I'm here in the South and I'm in Texas. So, you know, Oklahoma State is shown a lot down here in my area. And I can remember, and they were both great college quarterbacks. Really damn good college quarterbacks. But they ran these spread offenses, etc. I think that could be an advantage for Mason Rudolph with Kliff Kingsbury. But that's if you want the Steelers to be competitive. All right? I think they could be competitive. I mean, we've seen that. Tomlin had a meltdown during the season and still ended up, 10-7, made the playoffs. But isn't the point here, and this has sort of been the point the last few years with Tomlin, isn't the point to try to win a Super Bowl? I mean, I feel like, and look, you don't want to give up on Tomlin necessarily because you're seeing what's going on. These same questions have been asked about John Harbaugh. Well, here's Harbaugh back in the AFC Championship game. All right? He got a Super Bowl. I think it was back in 2013 when they beat the Niners, with Joe Flacco. The point is, you don't necessarily want to move off these coaches because you hope it will come back around. What happened? The difference between the Steelers is they have not went and got the guy to replace Big Ben. Whether it's in the draft or in free agency. This league is still a quarterback-driven league, which Mike Tomlin did actually acknowledge yesterday, I think, or the day before. I don't know. You got to tell me what you think in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys watching and subscribing. This channel continues to grow. I think we're at 2.2 million views the last 28 days. In case you're wondering, this channel's got 37,000-ish subscribers. Black and White Sports, our big channel, which, yes, I still make videos there. I've been working this channel real hard trying to get it to grow. The big channel's got like 218,000 plus or whatever. I think we're only 500,000 views the last month behind that massive channel. So we're trying to catch it. Hey, catch it, pass it. That's the way we're getting down. We're all ahead. Black and White Network, it's exploded. It may pass both of these channels combined over the next month. Tell me what you think. Peace, I'm out. What? Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.